Here is a number that will tell you everything about the world your parents grew up in. Across the 1960s and 70s, the average American family saved almost 12 cents out of every dollar they earned. 12 cents. Today, that number has fallen to under 5 cents. They saved more than twice what we save now. And here is the part that matters. They did not do it by earning more. In real terms, they earned less than we do. They did it through 1,000 small, quiet, daily habits, habits so ordinary that no one even thought to write them down. Habits we have almost completely forgotten. Tonight, I am going to walk you through them, one by one. And I promise you this: if you grew up in that house, you are going to recognize every single one, and you are going to remember exactly who taught it to you. Let us start in the bathroom with the soap. When a bar of soap wore down to a thin little sliver, too small to hold, it was not thrown away. It was pressed, wet, against the side of a brand new bar, where it stuck and melted in and became part of the new one. Nothing was wasted, not even the last quarter-inch of a bar of soap. Do you remember that? Because if you do, you already understand the entire philosophy of that generation in a single image. Now the kitchen, where the saving really lived. On the back of the stove, almost every household kept a can. A coffee can usually, and into it went the bacon grease, the drippings from every pan. That grease was not garbage. It was an ingredient. It greased the next skillet. It flavored the beans and the greens. It was used and reused until it was gone. And it was only the beginning. Aluminum foil was not a one-time thing. A sheet of foil was wiped clean, smoothed out, folded, and used again, sometimes 4 or 5 times. Bread bags were saved and reused. Glass jars became drinking glasses and storage. Rubber bands and twist ties and lengths of string went into a drawer because you never knew when you would need one. Every container that came into the house had a second life, and a third. Number 17, meatloaf with tomato glaze and green beans. Then there were the clothes. A good piece of clothing was an investment, and it was expected to serve the whole family before it was finished. The oldest child wore it first. Then it was handed down to the next, and the next taken in here, let out there, patched at the knees and the elbows. And when a garment was finally, truly worn out, it still was not thrown away. The buttons were cut off and dropped into a button tin. The good fabric went into the rag bag to become cleaning cloths, and the rest might end up in a quilt. A single shirt could end its life as a dust rag years after it began as Sunday best. Nothing left the house as waste, if it could possibly be put to use. In the kitchen again, think about how food was treated. There were no paper towels flying off a roll. There were cloth napkins, washed and used again, and rags for the messes. Leftovers were not an afterthought, scraped into the trash. They were tomorrow's lunch or the start of a soup. The bones of the Sunday chicken became the broth for Monday's supper. A loaf of bread that went a little stale became toast, or bread pudding, or crumbs. The phrase in that house was simple, and you have heard it. Use it up, wear it out, make it do or do without. And out the back door, the garden. For an enormous number of families, the backyard was not decoration. It was a grocery store. Tomatoes, beans, corn, squash, all grown at home, and then, in the heat of late summer, the whole kitchen would turn into a canning operation. Jars boiling, the pantry shelves slowly filling with food that would carry the family clear through the winter. A cool root cellar held potatoes and onions and apples for months. The freezer, when families got one, held the rest. They did not buy their winter food. They grew it, and they kept it. Now here is the habit underneath all the other habits, the one that held the whole system together. Money itself was handled with a discipline that is almost gone today. There were no credit cards in that house, because for most of that era, Credit cards barely existed for ordinary families. You did not borrow to buy. You saved up, and then you bought, or you used layaway, where the store held the item while you paid it off a little at a time, and you only took it home once it was truly yours. Cash came in, and before a single dollar was spent on wants, money was set aside, into the bank, into the savings book, into the envelope in the drawer. Saving was not what you did with the money left over at the end. Saving came first, and spending came from what remained. Put all of those habits together, the soap and the grease and the foil and the hand-me-downs and the garden and the cash, and you understand that 12-cent savings rate completely. It was not a mystery. It was the sum of 1,000 small refusals to waste. So why did it all fade away? The honest answer is that the world was rebuilt deliberately to run on the opposite of those habits. Our entire economy now depends on spending. Around 70 cents of every dollar in the American economy comes from people buying things, which means the whole machine is built to encourage you to spend, not save. The pensions that once meant a worker did not have to fund his own retirement were replaced, putting the weight back on each family. And credit, once hard to get, was placed in everyone's pocket. Today, the average American who carries a credit card balance owes nearly $8,000 on it, a kind of debt that the grandparents in this story would have found almost unthinkable. We were told these old habits were quaint, backward, old-fashioned. We were told that saving a sliver of soap was the behavior of people who did not understand the modern world. But look closely, and you will see the truth. Those people were not behind the times. They were free in a way we are struggling to be. Every habit in this video costs nothing, or next to nothing, and every one of them quietly put money back in the family's pocket and kept them out of debt. They were not depriving themselves. They were practicing a kind of independence that we traded away for convenience, and many of us are quietly beginning to wonder if we got the better end of that deal. The good news, the genuinely good news, is that not a single one of these habits was ever truly lost. The soap still sticks to the new bar, the grease still flavors the pan, the garden still grows, the savings still come first if you decide they will. The whole quiet system is sitting there, exactly where your parents left it, waiting for anyone willing to pick it back up. So tell me, and I read every comment, which of these did your family do, and which one, be honest, do you still do today, even now? Leave it below, because somebody else needs to be reminded that they are not the only one. And if you want to keep walking back into the America where ordinary people knew how to make a dollar stretch, stay with us and subscribe. Next time, we are sitting down at the kitchen table on payday to look at the simple cash and envelope system that ran an entire household. No credit cards, no apps, no debt, just a few envelopes and an iron discipline. We will see you there.